Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Let's start the class. We are seeing this McCabe-Thiele method. We are seeing this McCabe-Thiele method. So it is a graphical procedure to obtain a theoretical plate or ideal plates. So I will just summarize the important points which are used to calculate the number of plates in this one. The assumptions are constant molar heat of vaporization. We are constantly supplying a heat in order to vaporize the fade liquid. Then no heat losses. There is no heat loss from the inside to the outside or outside to inside. So completely an insulated system. Then no heat of mixing is there. Okay, vapors and liquids are just mixing with each other. So the heat generated by rupture of these two phases is neglected. So there is no heat of mixing. Then in the step-by-step procedure, as I in the earlier class just I said, first you have to use this material balance equation, the sixth equation which we already derived earlier. So using this equation, the unknown parameters, whether it may be D, W, X, W, XD, whatever the missing parameters from the problem, we have to calculate using this all the material balance equations around the column. Then the next step is draw the equilibrium curve and diagonal with the help of X and Y data. So you know this x-axis is called a abscissa and this is called a ordinate. Y-axis is a ordinate. And we already know the small fractions will range in between 0 to 1 and Y also in range between 0 to 1. So you have to just draw a square box and just blindly you can just connect the two dots. Okay. Okay, this figure is not, it should be upside here. So, okay, this dot you have to connect with each other. Then whatever the XY data is there, the graph between X versus Y data, the curve will be obtained like this. And if XY data is not given, then you have to generate your own data. I already said you how to generate that whole data. X values you have to assume 0 0.1, 0 0.2, 0 0.4, 0 0.6, 0.8 or 1.0 like that up to 0 to 1. We have to assume the data for X, and if relative volatility is provided, then only we can calculate the Y values using this formula. So one way is they have to give XY data in the problem, and another way is they will give alpha value, constant relative volatility, and they will ask us to calculate generate our own XY data. Then we have to generate our own XY data using this equation. Next, third step is first we have to locate our XD on the x-axis or the abscissa. We have to locate where is XD. Then we have to project this XD up to the diagonal, and this point will be referred to as RXD, XD comma XD. Then because it is projected up to the diagonal, so same value will be there on the y-axis also. Then this line, from this line you have to use a rectifying section operating line, operating equation. So rectifying section or enriching section operating line equation we already know, this we derived. So y is equal to r by r plus 1 into x plus xd by r plus 1. So using this equation, by calculating this slope or intercept, we can just find out the just draw the operating line equation for the rectifying section or enriching section. So how to draw this one? One way is to use this slope. So when you use that slope, you just input here the protractor, then the value which is obtained, slope value, will be equated to the tan theta. Then theta value we have to calculate. That theta will be put on the protractor. You have to draw that line. Otherwise, you can use the intercept. So this is the intercept xd by r plus 1. This intercept, so wherever that point is coming, if that point is lying here, that intercept value, this point and that r point will have to be connected by a straight line. So this line is now called as a rectifying section operating line or enriching section operating line we will call. Then the next step is locate the XF, mole fraction of more volatile component in the feed. So this is mole fraction of more volatile component in the distillate. Then we have to locate XF. Our XF needs to be projected up to the diagonal line, and from this diagonal line, so we already know the Q line equation. We derived this equation. So using this Q line equation, similar procedure we can apply, whether you have to use a slope value or you can use the intercept value. Okay, when you are using the intercept value, just calculate this one, xf by 1 minus q. So q is the measure of thermal condition of feed. We already derived that one. Q is measure of thermal condition of feed, or in terms in other way we can say as fraction of feed that is in liquid. This one, Q is nothing but fraction of feed that is in liquid form. So you can just all the parameters will be given. So then you have to calculate the intercept. That intercept you have to just value you have to locate on the y-axis. Then your value might be coming around here. Then that intercept value from this point to xf point, this q point. Q is xf to xf because up to diagonal we are projecting both the values on y-axis and x-axis will be same. So from here you have to just draw a line connecting your intercept and to this q line. Then this is called as a q line equation or a q line. This is called. So first one is the operating line for rectifying section, which is a green line, and this red line is a Q line section for the feed plate. So this is Q line. Then you already drawn your feed line. So next procedure is to draw the line, what we call this stripping section operating line. But to draw the stripping section operating line, we have to use this equation. But you don't have to use this equation. If you want to use this equation, you have to once again calculate the slopes and intercepts. Or see here L dash value is there. So in order to calculate that L dash value, it is a huge task. In each and every plate we have to perform the material balance. So it is a huge task to calculate this L dash value. Whereas this outer parameters W, XW, W you can calculate easily because it's the overall column parameter. But this L dash is only the section parameter. Okay, stripping section. L dash is for stripping section and L is for enriching section. So the internal parameters, that one V, L, L dash, everything are internal parameters. Whereas F, W, D, XF, XD, XF, all these are the outer parameters. So outer material balance we can calculate very easily. So instead of going for this one to balance every section, so we can directly use another method, another shortcut method. The shortcut method is just here. If you see the connecting line, this intersecting line, this points needs to be connected with XW. So before that you have to locate XW here. XW you have to locate here. Okay, XW you have to locate there, and this the XW will be projected up to the diagonal. Up to the diagonal it will be projected. So this point we can give some notation which is S. S will be whose coordinates will be XW to XW because we are just projecting that up to the diagonal. So we'll call that as S XW W. Then the shortcut method is, if you see this point, so this point, this intersection point, we have to connect this intersection point. Okay, that intersection point I couldn't able to exactly see. So you have to connect this violet line. So this violet line, how can we draw? By intersection, the Q line equation and rectifying section intersection point needs to be joined with the XW point on the diagonal. Then you can call this violet line as a stripping section operating line. So there are there are two operating lines only. One is the intersecting line. This feed line is a feed plate intersecting line, whereas this green line is the rectifying section operating line, nothing but a top section of the column, and bottom line is the stripping section operating line, nothing but a bottom section of the column. So using these operating lines, in between this operating line and equilibrium curves, we have to draw a triangles. So how to draw the triangles? So these are the usual steps, step-by-step procedure. I have just summarized how to draw the triangle. So just I will try to explain. See, first one is XD, XD coordinate point will be there. So from this point, you have to draw one horizontal line up to the equilibrium curve. Then from this equilibrium curve, we have to draw a vertical line up to the operating line for the rectifying section. So it will be called as B. Then from this one, once again, we have to draw the horizontal line. then up to the equilibrium curve. From this point, we have to draw the vertical line up to the operating line of the rectifying section. Once it reaches the intersection point, two operating line joining point, we have to change our operating line. So until here, up until the intersection point, our operating line is this one, rectifying section operating line, which is given as green color. After this point, intersection point, we have to change our operating line. So it is going, it can be neglected now. The change, you see this violet color operating line we are just considering. So our triangle, same method, just a horizontal line up to the equilibrium curve, and then we have to draw a vertical line up to the stripping section operating line, then horizontal line, then vertical line up to this XW point, S point, whose coordinate is XW to XW. Up to this point, how many triangles are coming in the graph paper? Therefore, that many triangles we have to count from the top to bottom. So first one is this one, then second one 2 triangle, 3, 4, 5. Complete triangles we have to just count that one. So 5 number of triangles are there here. So what is this meaning of 5 number of triangles? 5 number of triangles is equal to number of ideal or theoretical plates or trace, we can call ideal plates or ideal trace or theoretical plates or theoretical trace, or whatever the terminology, all are same. So what is this value of 5? This value of 5 is nothing but the column, how many plates contained in this column, that particular distillation column, plus here reboiler is there in the bottom. Including that reboiler, this value of 5 designate the number of plates already there in the column plus one reboiler. So I am giving here it is 5 including reboiler. When in the problem itself, they are saying that we have used a partial condenser. So partial condenser means we have to subtract one value from here. So it will be 5 minus 1 excluding the condenser, partial condenser. If they are saying how many trays are there only inside the shell, inside the cylindrical distillation column, then you have to minus with the partial condenser, you have to perform a minus operation, 5 minus 2. Then the total will be 3 number of plates inside that cylindrical column. So total number of plates they are asking means, total number of plates overall operation they are asking means 5 plus 1 we have to include when they are using partial condenser. Okay, I will say what is partial condenser, what is total condenser. We will see that in the next topic. So if you see one more point you have to note here, where this is a feed line or a Q line equation, where this Q line is touching. If you see it is touching here. Okay, we can conclude that feed plate can be in between 2 and 1. Okay, we have to just justify that whether we have to locate our feed plate 2 or feed plate at 3. So feed plate can be located in between these 2 points, 2 and 3. Then if this feed line is coming to the somewhat upside, then we can consider our feed plate at 2. Plate 2, our feed plate is located. Feed plate 2 is our feed plate, we can say. If this Q line is just below this one, that we can consider our feed plate is located at 3. So this is that overall how to generate the number of plates data and everything using the McCabe-Thiele method. We will solve one problem based on this. You will be clarified all the topics. Then what are the limitations of this McCabe-Thiele method? So we already said there are 3 types of methods to evaluate the number of plates. One is a McCabe-Thiele method, second one is a Lewis-Sorel method, and third one is a Ponchon-Savaret method. So out of this only McCabe-Thiele method is there for you, but because of these limitations only, they have just to go to the more advanced methods like Lewis-Sorel method or Ponchon-Savaret method. They are very hard methods. Ponchon-Savaret method is very hard method. So you don't have for the syllabus. In this one, we have to see what are the limitations for the McCabe-Thiele method. So McCabe-Thiele method is used when relative volatility is in between 1.3 and 5. Okay, when more than 5 relative volatility is there, we can't use McCabe-Thiele method. When less than 1.3 relative volatility is there, we can't use McCabe-Thiele method. So in between these values only we can use McCabe-Thiele method. Then if the column has more than 25 theoretical plates, we can't use McCabe-Thiele method. We have to go for more advanced methods. Okay, column should not have more than 25 plates so that we can use McCabe-Thiele method. If we want to calculate the number of plates when the particular column is containing more than 25 states, we have to go for more advanced methods. Then it is not used when reflux ratio R value R is equal to L by D. Reflux ratio is less than 1.1 times of minimum reflux ratio. Then what is this meaning of minimum reflux ratio? What is the reflux ratio? What is infinite or total reflux ratio? We will see in the next topics. So just remember that McCabe-Thiele method is used when alpha value, alpha is nothing but relative volatility, is in between 1.3 to 5. Otherwise, we can't use McCabe-Thiele method. Okay, when column contains more than 25 theoretical plates, we can't use McCabe-Thiele method. And when reflux ratio is less than the 1.1 times of the minimum reflux ratio, we can't use McCabe-Thiele method. So these are the three limitations which are found out in the McCabe-Thiele method. So okay, we will try to solve one problem. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Otherwise, we will try to solve problem. Anybody?
Sir, we will go for problems, sir.
Okay.
So that we can understand.
Yeah. Okay, all the problems which we are solving from the unit 2, I have provided as a PDF file, I think, to you. Okay, you have to just go through that file. So all the problems are there in that one. Only problems is the solution I am doing in the OneNote. Okay, we will solve the problem. Yes. Okay, a continuous fractionating column. Problem is a continuous fractionating column. So what type of distillation it is? First you have to identify whether it is simple distillation or a flash, or they are giving continuous fractionating column or continuous rectifying column. The continuous fractionation or rectifying both are same. You have to identify that one. Whenever they are saying continuous means we have to use these methods only. Now whatever I am teaching. So a continuous fractionating column is to be designed for separating. So this is 10,000 kg per hour of liquid. So this is F value. F is equal to 10,000 kg per hour. Liquid mixture containing 40 mole percentage methanol is there, and 60 mole percentage is the water. So XF, methanol is more volatile component compared to water. So XF is equal to 0.4 into an overhead product containing 97 percentage. Overhead product means top product distillate. So XD is equal to 0.97. Since this is a methanol, so we can consider XD is equal to 0.97, and the bottom product having 98 mole percentage water. So remember, this is not equal to XW because this is given 98 percentage is water. So XW is mole fraction of more volatile component in the residue. XD is mole fraction of more volatile component in the distillate. So we are already taking our variables in such a way that everything will be comes under refer to only more volatile components. So this is 98% means remaining 2% is methanol in the residue. So XW is equal to the 2%. 2 divided by 100 we can take 0.02. Then a molar reflux ratio is 3. So R is equal to 3, R is equal to L by D is equal to 3 is used. Calculate moles of overhead product. So moles of overhead product means D value we have to calculate. So in terms of moles we have to calculate. But here if you see F is given in kg per hour. This is mass in terms of mass flow rate it is given kg per hour is mass flow rate, but they are asking in moles that one. So kilomoles per hour they are asking. So to obtain that, obtain per hour, so kilomoles per hour they are asking. So we have to calculate that by using a dividing by it with molecular weight. So kg per hour divided by kilomole kg per kg mole. Kilomole kg will be cancelled and kilomole per hour will be left. So we have to use molecular weight. Then number of ideal plates and location of feed plate. Okay, location of feed plate also they are asking. Number of ideal plates also they are asking. If the feed is at its bubble point. So bubble point means it is a saturated liquid. So feed is at its dew point means it is saturated vapor. But here it is giving feed is at its bubble point, meaning the feed is at saturated liquid. For saturated liquid, what is the Q value? Q is equal to 1. You can verify from the earlier PPT or earlier one notes. So that is Q is equal to 1 we have to take. So feed is entirely a liquid which is a saturated liquid. Q is equal to 1. This statement you have to identify. Then only you know what is Q value. Without Q value we can't solve this problem. So by giving this bubble point they are referring that feed is entirely liquid. That too that liquid is at its bubble point, saturation stage. Saturated liquid. For saturated liquid Q is equal to 1. Then they have provided the equilibrium data X and Y. So X and Y data they already provided. This is small x and small y. Okay, not capital X and capital Y. Capital X and capital Y will have separate notation in the absorption in the mass transfer too. But here it is small x and small y. Only small x and small y we have to take. By wrongly it is capital X and capital Y. So this is small x and this is small y. Then solution for this problem is first we have to write a given data. So every time I request you to write a given data first so that you can identify what are the unknown parameters. So given data is first one, this one, feed. So feed is containing 10,000 kilomole per hour. 10,000 kg per hour of feed liquid mixture is containing. In this 10,000 kg per hour, the mole fraction of more volatile component which is methanol in feed is 0.4, 40 divided by 100. So then 60 we can neglect this one because we are not considering less volatile components. Then into an overhead product containing 97 mole percentage methanol. So they are referring this to XD. XD is equal to 0.97, 97 divided by 100. And the bottom product having 98 mole percentage water. So this is water is not non-volatile component or less volatile component. Non-volatile component, less volatile component compared to methanol. So we have to take the fraction of bottom product which is having a more volatile component. So 100 minus 98 is equal to 2% methanol will be there. So 98% already water is there. So remaining percentage will be methanol. So XW is equal to 0.02. So 2% divided by 100. 2 by 100. So XW we obtained. Then they have given reflux ratio R value. R is equal to L by D. L by D is equal to 3 they have given. So now they are asking us to calculate what is D. That too in kilomole per hour they are asking. Then next bit, this is first bit they are asking. So in the next bit they are asking number of ideal plates. So we will denote that ideal plates with N. What is number of plates they are asking, and location of feed plate. Okay, NF, location of feed plate they are asking. On which plate the feed is located they are asking. And one more data given which is feed is at its bubble point. Feed is at its bubble point. Means feed is saturated liquid. Saturated liquid. For saturated liquid, Q is equal to 1. You can verify from the earlier sections. Yeah. Here if you see, for feed is saturated liquid or feed is at its bubble point, Q is equal to 1. So Q is equal to 1, we can directly draw a vertical line from the XF. So that's what we have to identify from the problem, what they have given. So all the data has given. First we have to calculate what are the unknown parameters. If you see XD, XF, XW, F they have given, but we don't know what is D and what is W. In the first bit, the in terms asked us to calculate what is D. What is D they asked us to calculate. So we don't know, W we don't know, and D unknowns. These are unknowns. Using the material balance formulas, we can calculate this one. So material balance formula is, equation 1 is F is equal to D plus W. For more volatile component, it is Fxf is equal to D into Xd plus W into Xw. So these are 1, 2 equations. From this one, we can calculate D and W. How we can calculate? So Xf is already, they have given 10,000. But here if you see, this value D we want in kilomole per hour. So we have to convert this F kg per hour to kilomole per hour. How to convert that into kilomole per hour? So if you see, F is given in kg per hour. If you divide this with mole fraction, molecular weight, what will obtain? Kg per kg mole is the molecular weight for molecular weight units. So kg will be cancelled and F will come in kilomole per hour. So in order to do so, we have to divide it with molecular weight. So molecular weight of all this. So molecular weight. So feed is composed of methanol and water. It is not a pure feed, pure single component feed. So two components are there. For calculating the molecular weight of two components, more than one component, what we have to do? Average molecular weight we have to calculate. Average molecular weight of feed is MW average is equal to, we already know this formula, sigma I is equal to 1 to n xi into mi. So this is mole fraction of single component, ith component multiplied by mole fraction, molecular weight of ith component. So we can expand in our own terminology. So first one is x methanol multiplied by molecular weight of methanol, plus only two components are there in our system. Then x water into x m water, molecular weight of water. So we can calculate our molecular weight as x methanol. In the feed, what is there? Methanol is 0.4, xf is 0.4. This is 0.4 into methanol molecular weight is CH3OH 32, I guess. Yeah, 32. Plus water, the composition of water is, so 100% if you take 0.4, 1 minus 0.4 is 0.6. So only two components are there. We can substitute minus from 1, we can substitute this one, we can obtain the remaining fraction. So water will have a molecular weight of 18. So this will give average molecular weight. So how much that is?
23.6.
Yeah, okay, 23.6. So this will have the what we say this. Sorry, this will have kg per kg mole. This is molecular weight kg per kg mole. Then we have to convert our F, which is given in kg per hour, to kilomole per hour. So how to convert that one? Given F is equal to 10,000 kg per hour. So we have to calculate F is equal to 10,000 kg per hour divided by 23.6 kg per kg. This will be cancelled, is equal to something will come kilomole per hour. So value you can say
423.72, sir.
423.72. Okay, this is 423.72. Now we can calculate our D, whatever they asked, kilomole per hour they have asked to calculate D. So we know the material balance equations. F is equal to D plus W, and F into XF is equal to D into XT plus W into XW. So from this one, how many unknowns are there? D is unknown, W is unknown. Whereas we know this one, XT, XF, XW and F also we know. So how to calculate that one? So 423, F is equal to 423.72 into XF is already 0.4 percentage of methanol, 4 percentage, 40 percentage methanol. So 0.4 is equal to D is unknown. So XT already they have given something. XT is equal to 0.97. Yeah, 0.97. So into 0.97 plus W is unknown. So XW is already given 2% something. Yeah.
0.02.
So this is 0.02. So from this equation, what we can write? W is equal to F minus D. So we have to substitute this here. So 423.72 into 0.4, how much?
Sir, 169.49.
Okay, anything 49 or 48, it's not. So this one is 0.97 plus this is F minus W. F I am directly writing. Okay, one more step increases, no problem. So this is F minus D into 0.02. So this is 169.49 is equal to 0.97 D will come. 0.97 D plus 0.02 F minus 0.02 D. We already know F here. So 169.49 is equal to 0.97 D plus 0.02 into F is 423.72 minus 0.02 D. So you can calculate that one. The simple material balance problem. First bit is material balance problem. So now we can say this one we can take it on that side. 169.49 minus 0.02 into 423.72 is equal to 0.97 minus 0.02. So it is 0.95 D. So D is equal to 169.49 minus 0.02 into 423.72 divided by 0.95. So D is equal to some kilomole per hour it will come. How much that is?
Sir, 169.49 it's coming, sir.
Yes, yeah. Just a small fraction only. So 169.49 kilomole per hour. So this is our first bit answer. So D value. So you can calculate here this one. W you can calculate directly using F is equal to D plus W. So we already know F is equal to D plus W. The F is equal to 423.72 is equal to D is equal to 169.49 plus W. W is equal to 423.72 minus 169.49. 49. So W you can calculate that one. So it will come around.
4.23, sir.
How much?
254.23.
23. Okay, 254.23. So this one. Okay, one way is to just use these equations, or other way is, if you remember the earlier we have derived the equations, many equations, material balance equations. So whatever the unknown parameters are there, you can use this formula. So our unknown is D, we don't know, whereas all these parameters we know. So this formula we can directly use. D by F is equal to XF minus XW by XD minus XW. It will also get same one if you calculate that one. Just see, or you can use D by F direct formula. D by F is equal to XF minus XW by XD minus XW, XD minus XW, XD minus XW. We can use this formula also. So D is equal to F is equal to 423.72 into XD, we already know XD is 0.97 minus XF is 0.02.
Sir, XF is 0.4, sir.
Except 0.4. Okay, yes. XF is 0.4 minus 0.02 divided by XD is 0.97 minus XW is 0.02. If you verify, you will also get the same answer, 169.49 something. Is it right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. If you verify, you will also get the same answer. You can use the direct formula which we earlier derived, this one, or otherwise we can use the basic formulas, this material balance formulas. Okay, in this way you have solved the A bit one, first bit, and second bit is regarding the plates. For that one, to solve for the plates, we have to use McCabe-Thiele method. So in the McCabe-Thiele method, the first procedure is we have already, first step is this one only, unknown parameters we have to calculate. So unknown parameters we already calculated. So the next step is draw the equilibrium curve. So how to draw that equilibrium curve? So how to draw that equilibrium curve? So directly we will use graph paper. Yeah. Now we will use our graph paper. We already know this is abscissa is x values. So y values are the ordinate. So this, since these are mole fraction, we can directly take 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. This is 0.8, 0.9, 1.0. Then this is also the mole fraction, so we can take 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, 1.0. Then we have to do is just draw the lines. So we have to just connect that lines. So with a straight line. Okay. Okay, we have to connect these lines. First, a square box we should form. So this one. So this one is a 45 degrees diagonal line. Now it is looking like that one because it's a square box. Now we can directly draw. Okay, no problem. Yeah. Okay, this is 45 degrees diagonal line. So this diagonal line, first we have to just draw x versus y data. So we already have x versus y data. So x versus y data is this one, equilibrium data. Once again I am copying. Just don't. So okay, x versus y data is there. So x versus y data, how we can draw? So these are x values. So x is equal to 0.1 first data point, 0.1, and y value is 0.417. So 0.1 is this one and 0.417 is this one. You can take here, you can take this one, the first data point, and second data point is 0.2 and 0.579. This is 0.2 and 0.579 is almost 8 it is. So this is, you can take. The third data point is 0.3 and 0.669. This is 0.3 and 0.669 is almost 0.767 we can take. So this one. Then the next data point is 0.4 and 0.729. This is 0.4 and 0.729 means this one you will get. Then 0.5 and 0.78. So this is 0.5 and 0.78 is this one. Then next one is 0.6 and 0.825. 0.6 and 0.825. 0.6 is this one. 0.825, you can take this one. Yeah. Here. Then the next is 0.7 and 0.871. 0.7 and 0.871 is 0.87 we can take. So this point is this one. Then the next point is 0.8 and 0.915. 0.8 and 0.915 you can take here. Then the next point is 0.9 and 0.959. 0.9 0.959 means 0.956 we can take. 96 we can take. So 96 it is. So finally 1 and 1. So you have to just draw here curve. You have to connect using the curve. Okay, remember how to accurately connect this curve. Depending on this curve only our plates will going to influence. So this you can connect like this. Okay, this. So we have to connect up to the diagonal line. So we have connected that one. So now this we can call as the equilibrium curve. So this is equilibrium curve. Now after obtaining the equilibrium curve, first we have to identify what is our XD. XD, one more time I am writing our data points, XD, XW and XF. So XD is 0.97 I guess. Is it 0.97?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, 0.97. Then XW is 0.02.
Yes, sir.
XF is 0.4. Yeah. Then first you have to locate where is our point XD. XD is 0.997 means this one. So this is XD point. So from this XD point we have to project that one up to this diagonal line. We have to project. Up to this diagonal means this one. Yeah, 0.97. So up to the diagonal we have projected. So now we are saying when we are projected here, this point is in your PPT, that R point. R is equal to XD comma XD, the coordinate XD comma XD. So this is R point. Now we have to use operating line equation. Operating line equation for a top section, or we can call rectifying section. Top section or enriching section or rectifying section. All are same. So operating line equation is, we already know that one. So y is equal to r by r plus 1 into x plus xd by r plus 1. So procedure you already know. Directly I am going to do a simple procedure. So I is equal to, intercept is equal to xd by r plus 1. So xd we already know, it is 0.97 divided by all r, already they have given 3. So 3 plus 1 is equal to some intercept will come. 0.97 divided by 4. How much it is? 0.97 divided by 4?
0.2425, sir.
0.2425. Okay, 24 we can take. Okay, yeah, in this y-axis we have to locate our intercept value. So 2425 means it will come 24 we can take. So this is your intercept value. So this point needs to be connected with this R point. So how to connect that one? So you can connect using this shape. So accurately, with using a straight line, you have to connect that point. Okay, doing in a physical paper will be very easy. Okay, just try it yourself, that one. Okay, you have to connect that point to this point. Yeah. Okay. Now this green line is called as an operating line for the rectifying section or the enriching section. Now what you do, just identify what is your XF value, this value. So XF value, different color. So XF value is 0.4. So 0.4 is this one. This one is XF. So you have to project this up to the diagonal. So how to project that up to the diagonal? So up to the diagonal means here. Okay, up to the diagonal you already projected. Then after projecting, what we have to do? Operating line for the Q line equation or a feed line equation we have to use. So next step will be Q line equation. So Q line or feed line equation we can call. Feed line. q line or feed line. We already know that the equation is y is equal to minus q by 1 minus q into x minus or plus minus, I guess, q line equal, yeah, plus xf divided by 1 minus q. So directly I am calculating intercept method. So intercept is directly in the problem they have given a saturated liquid, meaning q is equal to 1 already. We don't have to estimate this one also. So if you see intercept slope, you can consider minus q by 1 minus q. Q is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus 1 is equal to slope is equal to intercept 1 by 0 is equal to in infinity. So infinite slope we have to draw the vertical line. Okay. So you don't have to, for this problem you don't have to calculate the slopes or intercepts also. It is very easy. Directly they have given our q is equal to 1. For q is equal to 1 it is a straight vertical line. For q is equal to 0 it will be this horizontal line. So we can directly draw the q line equation. We can take some other color. Okay, we can, from here we can draw our straight vertical line. So this red line is called as a q line. So this is called q line. After drawing this q line, see, this is the intersecting point. So this intersecting point, so this point already in the PPT up to the diagonal, this we are referring to as q xf comma xf. I think q xf comma xf. Yeah, q xf comma xf, and then so q xf comma xf. So this point we are referring, and this is red line is called a q line equation, q line, that one. So wherever this intersecting point is there, this point we are calling as a p point, intersecting p point. So okay, I will not draw anything here. So this is intersecting point. Just remember that one, intersecting point. Now next that one will be, our procedure will be to calculate a operating line, to draw a operating line for the stripping section. So how to draw that operating line for the stripping section? So we already know for the stripping section operating line is stripping section operating line is L dash by L dash minus W into X, plus or minus something is there.
Plus sir, plus sir.
Minus
Sir,
W
plus
by
sir.
L dash minus W plus.
Or plus
Okay,
Plus only
just
sir.
verify. Plus only. Okay, just to try. I don't remember these equations. Okay, plus only. Thank you. Okay, this one. So one method is to use this one. So you need not to bother to use this one, third operating line equation. Don't go for this also, because we don't know this L dash. So because of this, now what you do, just connect the intersecting point. Just connect this intersecting point with xw. First, for that one, first you have to know that xw value. So this one, 0.02 is the xw value. So 0.02, it will be coming around here. This is xw. So you have to project this line up to the diagonal. So this diagonal point, from this diagonal point we have to connect this intersecting line with this one. So now connect these lines. So from this intersecting point, so from this intersecting point you have to connect this line. So okay, I could not accurately connect these points. In the physical graph paper you can do easily. Yeah, now it is okay. So you can connect in this way. So this violet line is called as a operating line for the stripping section. Now first what you do, if you observe here, so this line will forms our basis. So here it is R point. From this one, first we have to draw a for the plates different color we will use. So color will be so dark green will use. Okay. Now from this point you have to draw. First is a horizontal line. Looking at the lines in the graph paper, it will be very easy. So up to here it will come. So from this one you have to draw the vertical line. So vertical line. So after drawing this vertical line, similar fashion, you have to draw the horizontal line. In the physical graph paper, when you take that scale, it will be very easy. So this one will come like this, and next this line we have to connect, and now it will get up to this operating line only. Neglect this diagonal now. No need to consider the diagonal, only the up to this line we have to calculate. So now you can straight lines, it should come straight lines. Then you have to take like this. Then this, whatever the point it is touching in the operating line, you have to project that one with a straight line. So you can project like this, and this is, now if you see, this is feed line, intersecting point already came. So you have to go after intersecting line, you have to go change the operating line. So now violet line your next destination, all right. Next line you have to launch here, this one. So now your operating line will be the new line. You have to neglect this, cut off this line. Now you don't want that line. So from this one it is connecting here. So it will be like this up to the equilibrium curve, and from this one, this will be your operating line. After this point, after intersecting point, if you are going, if you don't have to take this green line, which is a rectifying section line. Up to the stripping section line you have to draw, and next one you have to draw like this. Then next plate will come like this. Once this is come like this, and you have to draw this one like this, and up to this point, up to this xd point, you have to draw the triangles. Then count your triangles. So this one is complete one triangle. This is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, this is 7, this is 8. Okay. Okay, since time is completed, those who want to leave, you can leave from the class. Please don't disturb and leave. I will give attendance. Okay, those who want to leave, just leave the class without disturbing anything. Those who want to wait for the class completion, just wait. I will give attendance, no problem. Just leave without disturbing. Okay, now you already drawn your triangles. So all these triangles are up to 8. It will be counted. Okay, when you draw on your graph paper, physical graph paper, you will come to know the true triangles. So I am just drawing as a rough. So you can say number of triangles is equal to number of plates is equal to 8. Okay, now we already defined that n is equal to 8 number of plates. Then our feed plate should be located here. If you see, our line is this one. So this triangle is 5th triangle. So our feed line is touching here. So this is feed plate. Our feed plate is equal to NF is equal to 5. So this solves your problem. Hope you understood this one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, one more problem we'll solve in the next class. Tomorrow is CT2, I guess. So in the that class I will utilize for the MTO. So I will solve one more problem based on this one. Okay, don't worry, if you find any difficulty, just let me know. Okay, everybody, is it okay from the boys' side? Ravi or Isaac? Okay, from the boys' side, anybody please respond. Tarun?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, do you understand that problem? Okay, I hope you understood. Okay, no problem. Tomorrow we'll solve one more problem.